Alrighty, y'all. So obviously, we still haven't gotten any news, like no patch notes or nothing. But I realized I didn't even talk about the characters kit this entire time on the channel because we do have information of what these characters do, and I didn't talk about any of that. Unfortunately, I thought I did, but I just didn't. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be taking a look at Rosanna and Sakura's kit from what they just gave us, a little brief description, and then kind of break it down from there, right? Now, honestly, obviously, they're limited characters, and I feel like if I'm reading their kit, obviously, I don't know their kit yet fully, but if I'm just reading their little skill effects, support, burst 2, yada, 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 I'm thinking their main reason for summoning is, well, Rosanna, you're summoning for Rosanna, and then Sakura, you're summoning for limited, right? Most likely, or you like Sakura, right? I'm not gonna act like Sakura's not a fan favorite, but Rosanna, we all know something. Okay, but yeah, Rosanna is a burst 2 supporter, assault rifle character, and both of these characters are bossing characters, which is interesting because I want to say Sakura already was a boss dedicated character. She was really a win type character, but you really see more of her use from just the train, where Rosanna before was a PvP character. So we have 2 Rosannas in the game and 2 Sakuras in the game now, and they're still kind of niche characters, right? And what I mean by that is, like, Rosanna before only worked in PvP. This one is only going to be good against bosses, right? And from what it seems like, Sakura is only good against wind-coated enemies, and now her new one is going to be good against bosses. So it's a bit unfortunate that they keep cutting everybody in the Underworld Queens group. I don't know why, but they keep putting these people in this group for, like, they keep... Yeah, it's fine. Alrighty, so it says Rosanna is a supporter Nikke who enhances her allies' attack every time she destroys an enemy part. Now, this right here worries me because if I'm not fighting an enemy's part, what is that doing for me exactly? Right now, this could be very good, especially against characters like who regenerate parts or enemies who regenerate parts. But if she gives an attack buff to her allies every time she destroys an enemy part, like, notice the keyword is she, right? It doesn't say every time enemy parts are destroyed, it says every time she destroys enemy parts, right? We have to wait for the full kit, but don't let that word she go over your head. Rosanna is a supporter Nikke who enhances her allies' attacks every time she destroys an enemy part, and that right there is a key factor, that word she. Next, it does say not only does she support her allies in quickly destroying the enemy's parts, so she does have a way to actually help them, like, destroy fast, but she also maintains significant attack power after destroying them. So it's not going to be hard for her to destroy it, right? So that's the whole point. Basically, depending on how much parts you're going to get an attack buff, I think this attack buff should be big, especially if they're going to lock it behind, like, enemy parts. Because if I'm fighting like Modernia, for example, Modernia only has 3 parts: her main core and then her 2 wings, and then most of the time I'm not even breaking the 2 wings, right? So when I break that core, I should get a massive, not insanely insane, but like quite the big attack buff from just destroying that core. Same thing goes with the train, and it's like 8 parts, right? Like, because you can't expect every boss to have parts, 1, and then 2, even if a boss does have a part, they only have a few, right? There's only some that have like a lot. Like, train is like the only one off the top of my head that I know that has like so much, right? And then when you think of Gravedigger, when you think of Blacksmith, they also have parts, but they're not easy to break, right? They're very, very sturdy. So it's like, you know, they gotta make it really, really good there. So it looks like her first skill is going to be on a buffing skill. It looks like her skill 2 is going to be a skill where I want to say after a certain amount of damage, then she's gonna deal something, right? That's kind of what these icons usually scream that. Like when you see like little bullets or these are bullets, right? This is a buff, and then this is like that bullets coming down, falling. So it looks like, it even says active, right? So this is literally is going to be a skill where after like a certain amount of attacks, then she's going to deal more damage. If they give her what they did to Summer and Nice, and they put it on Rosanna, that would be good, right? Because they could make her a good DPS. Just because she's a supporter burst 2 doesn't mean that she cannot be a good DPS. Look what they did to Dorothy. Look what they did to Exia with her favorite item. Look what they did to Summer and Nice, right? She's a supporter burst 3, and she's one of the best DPSs in the game, right? And then it also looks like her burst skill is a damage dealing skill as well, which I expect. So she's a supporter, but she's probably going to be having like a lot of damage mechanics, especially since her skill 2 and her burst skill seems to be damage mechanics, right? So overall, do you need this character? Just based off of this, do you need this character? If you're struggling with, like, I feel like if you're a main and solo raid or union raid, this character is gonna be a must, especially if she's gonna make it quite easy to fight bosses with parts. But if you're not doing any of that, then besides her being a limited, what business do you have summoning? Besides her being limited and her being hot. Yeah, I said it, hot. And then let's look at Sakura. So Sakura is a character who's a DPS, right? Underworld Queen, of course, attacker, burst 3. So this is the DPS. Also a bossing unit. Both of them are ARs and both of them are win characters. Can we talk about this for a second? Because I want you guys to know not only are they both wind and assault rifles, but sorry y'all, if y'all didn't know, these characters get put in the Tetra class. What do you think that means? Oh, I'll tell you what that means. It means Tetra probably just got more buff. They just got another set of buffs, right? If you didn't know already, Summer Anise was here, very good. If you didn't know yet, Alice was here, very good. If you didn't know, Winter Mill is here, very good. If you didn't know, Mary is here, pretty good. Because like, bro, hold on, half of the summer characters, if not all the summer characters, are in Tetra. Or not even summer, just limited. 1, 2, no, you're not limited. 1, 2, 3, 4. What the hell? Come on, man. Okay, let's read the kit. So Sakura, a Bloom in the Summer, that's her name. We're not calling her Bloom in the Summer. Summer Sakura is what we'll call her. Is an attacker Nikke whose attack grows stronger every time she destroys the enemy parts, right? So I really hope that they make it that enemy parts just have to be destroyed, right? Because when I'm reading this kit and I'm reading Rosanna's kit, I 1,000,000% believe you're going to probably want both of these two together, right? But if, let's say Sakura gets stronger, if she has to destroy an enemy part, and if Rosanna gets better, if she has to destroy an enemy part, only one of the two can destroy an enemy part. So I really hope that's just a sorry wording from Nikke's part, and it's like when the parts get destroyed, then it affects everybody, right? Who has these types of passive where it's like they get something for a part being destroyed, right? But I don't want it to be Sakura has to destroy a part to do something, or Rosanna has to destroy the part to do something, because again, only one person at the end of the day could destroy a part. Not only that, you have 3 other characters to fight with on your team if these two aren't breaking the parts, right? So I really just hope that it's just sorry wording from Nikke like they've always been doing, and they don't make it that they actually have to break the parts themselves, right? It says she could sustain more powerful attacks according to the numbers of parts destroyed, right? So this, okay, so yeah, you're gonna want these two together. Rosanna makes it easier for you to destroy parts, right? And then obviously Sakura just gets stronger, but it's like they're so limited to bosses, so limited, and not even like all bosses, specific bosses, because there are bosses that have so much like sturdiness, it's crazy when they have parts too, right? Gravedigger, Blacksmith has very sturdy parts. I guess technically like stuff like Material H would be helpful there. That would be really good. They would be really good against Material H, since there's so much parts that come about. Nihilister doesn't have many, but she has like she regenerates, right? No, she doesn't. I don't see this being as crazy for my Modernia, because Modernia has only like one part that you're trying to destroy for real. Right, but these characters are like, they're so limited to having to fight bosses, and like it seems like to be with many parts, right? Train is where these characters are. Both of them happen to be win code too, right? I guess that doesn't really affect the train, but you know, obviously against the train, train has a lot of parts. The train has a lot of parts, so I really just hope that Sakura and I really hope that Rosanna are good. In a general sense, but it's clear as day they're for bosses, right? If you look at her first skill, it's a passive. Her second skill is to be a buff as well, but it does activate something after, like it might be a stacking buff, right? Obviously, and then her burst skill is also an active. So yeah, we just have to wait. We have to wait and get the kit. I think maybe in the patch notes they will talk a bit more about what they're actually doing, like a bit more than just the skill effects. But if not, then we'll just wait for the actual skills, which this banner goes live July 4th. So I don't expect us to get anything for a few days. July 4th is not, it's like, it's not far, but it's not, you know, it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow, you know? So you guys, let me know what you think. Based on these two kits, I would say as of right now, just what I'm reading, none of these two are really a must unless you obviously care for limiteds, which everybody does. I mean, that's all y'all been chatting for summer, so the character kit shouldn't matter. Or 2, because you are doing stuff that I mean, realistically, these characters, if they are very good for bosses, picking them up wouldn't hurt, because then you would have good characters for any bosses that come in the future, right? So they're limited too, and obviously with everyone furious about reruns not happening as of right now for the summer event, you're gonna think twice about summoning for these ones, right? Because if they didn't rerun Summer Needs in them as of right now, if they didn't rerun them, then these characters right here, they're gonna rerun them, bro. They didn't make a whole patch note and whole dev team development note trying to explain how reruns are gonna work. If they're, I believe, bro. You guys let me know what you think. Get your boys Zxous. Who are you summoning for? Are you going for one of the two? Are you going for both? I obviously care more about Rosanna than I do Sakura, but you guys let me know what you think. Get your boys Zxous. I'm out. Peace.